Do you want easy conversational openers that work every time? By the end of this video, you have highly efficient conversation openers that would move you from a position of awkward with nothing to say to confident and conversational. For the best of communication, branding, and personal growth advice, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a new video every Tuesday and Friday. I write about confidence building, communication, and relationships on my blog, which reaches thousands of readers every month. Most importantly, I understand what it takes to start a good conversation. And not just start a good conversation, but what it takes to start and maintain a good conversation. And I am here to share that with you. Whether you are an introvert or you just want to communicate and connect in a meaningful way, these are key conversation openers for you. This is an important one that works every time. Make sure you do not come across as shallow or patronizing, but give a genuine compliment to a person, which should make them respond in a very pleasant way. People are most likely to respond in a very pleasant way when you compliment them. So it could be just anything. It could be about something they're wearing. It could be about a job they have done. It could be about just something that they have, or just something you admire about them, maybe a quality. If you compliment them, it can be an easy way of starting a conversation. I think this is perhaps one of the easiest way of starting conversations that we sometimes take for granted. If you think my hair is beautiful, for example, you can compliment me, tell me my hair looks beautiful, and that is one very good way of starting a conversation. So you can go like, your hair looks beautiful, then you can take it from there. How do you manage it? Or just something, don't come across as nosy, but just something that would help you maintain a conversation. That's a very good way of actually starting a conversation, especially because when you do that, it helps build other people's confidence, so they have this feel good factor, which would make them want to talk to you more. Ask them something. I know you could say that hi, how are you is asking them something, which is a good thing, but you can also move from the basic hi, how are you, to hi, are you my new neighbor, or are you my new neighbors? Ask them questions that you know that they can help you with. People just like to help or give information sometimes. So when you ask them something, make sure it's not personal, that like very sensitive or personal, that they can share with you, but ask them questions. When you ask someone a question, they are likely to want to share information with you. Also, you can get them to tell you a story or something about themselves, and it will just give them an opportunity. Remember that people like talking about themselves and like talking about their experiences. So you can ask them, for example, about a high school they went to, or about their job, or about their kids, or about something that you think would trigger their interest. So if you ask people questions, they are more likely to respond to you, and that's a very good way of starting a conversation. This is perhaps the easiest one, which is smile. A smile goes a long way. So non-verbal communication sometimes opens you up to having conversations with other people. Bear in mind that sometimes people want to talk to you, but they may be hesitant because they feel like you are not welcoming, maybe because of your look or your facial expression or your body language. So having a broad smile and looking very welcoming can be a very good conversation opener, because the next person probably just really wants to talk to you. And if you do not have a welcoming smile, or you do not have a look that makes it easy for people to approach you, it would be really difficult. So this is the easiest, the simplest of them all. Make sure you smile, because a smile goes a long way. A simple smile goes a long way. Ask them about their passion, or talk about something you share in common with them. People get passionate about things that they can talk over and over and over and over again about. So you should ask people about their passion. For example, apart from communication, I am passionate about women's issues. I am passionate about feminism. You can catch me anytime and I would not be tired of talking about. I'll not get tired of talking about these issues. So you should know what people are passionate about, and it even works better if you share similar interests with them. It helps to keep the conversation going and gives you a flow to the conversation. So you can use these things to ask them. And most often, if you want to talk to someone that you know, or you have met before, or you know about, it's easier because you may have read about them, or you have you know something that they are interested in, or a project they are working on, and it's easier to carry it that way. Otherwise, when you meet someone that you do not know, you can have a conversation, and when you open the conversation with the earlier points that I mentioned about just asking them random questions and you having a conversation, then you can ask them more about their passion, or with the initial response they give you, you can tell what their passion is, and then that helps to keep more conversations going, and then you get to open more you get more opportunities to have conversations with those people. So it's important to get to know what people are passionate about and listen when they talk, because people love to talk about their passion. Ask them about something in the news. Just ask them about their opinion about something in the news. And you can always have a conversation about certain things like the current affairs. These are issues that people can easily have an opinion on. For example, if you're having if it's a conversation about a new product, if it's a conversation about politics, it's a conversation about sports, you can just ask them something like about the stock exchange. I don't know if you think they're interested in stuff like that. So you can ask them about their opinion on a particular issue, and then when they share it with you, then you can now take it from there. So the news is always a good place to start from. The news is not just for boring people. The news can be a very good conversation opener. So please pay attention to the news when you know that, especially when you know you're going somewhere that it may be awkward and you would have to start a conversation. Make sure that you pay attention to the news, because that just could be your conversation opener. Let me know in the comment section below, what are some conversation openers that you have used. If you haven't seen my video on how to communicate clearly and confidently, make sure you check it out, and also do subscribe. Use a fact. Tell them something that you just found out, which a lot of people do not know. They are also very likely to be hooked because it is some new information that they probably have no idea of. So use a fact that is not very common, a fact that you just found out, that you were amused by, or that you never really imagined, and which probably you have told your family and friends like a million times, that really surprised them. So you can use that fact and to start a conversation, and that is very likely to hook people up to conversations, because if the person is also amused or the person is very curious, they may be more interested and proceed to ask questions or proceed to contribute to the conversation, because this is some new information that you are giving to them. So bear in mind, you're helping them learn and also getting to start a conversation in the process. And who knows, you may also leave that conversation learning something new. If it's an informal conversation, you can start a conversation about music or sports or anything entertainment. So for example, you're at a party and you want to start a conversation and you don't know how to go about it. There may be some music playing in the background. You can ask them like if they've heard that song before, or just say something about the song, or just talk about the choice of music being played at the party, or if maybe earlier in the day there was something very important that was happening, or if there was some sports event, or even if you're at a bar and then there's like sports playing on the television somewhere in the corner. You can just start a conversation with any of those things, and you can just kick off from there. So these are very important things that you can start, especially in informal settings. You can even talk about food. You know, everybody loves food, so you can talk about different kinds of food. Okay, not everyone loves food, but like I think I love food, so I think a lot of people love food too. Anyway, so people love food, so when you use food as a subject, they are very likely to contribute also. So just find some of the little things. Sometimes it's just around you. These topics are around you. You can just use anything to start any conversation with anyone around you. Ask open-ended questions. So when you're having a conversation with someone, rather than asking what is the name of your company, for example, you can ask, so what are some of the services that your company provides? And that gives an opportunity for the person to go on and on and on and on and on, and then your conversation then starts from there. But if you just ask what's the name of your company and you end it at there, they tell you the name of the company, and then there's what, awkward silence. So ask very open-ended questions and use the word why. When you say why, people tend to explain stuff, and it then gets them in the mood to have a deeper conversation, because they want you to understand what you're saying. So the question why also gives people an opportunity to be more expansive in their conversations and elaborate more and get you to understand more. Ask open-ended questions and use the word why to get people to speak more and then you can kick off a very good conversation from there. Mention your perspective about something and ask them what they think about it. So you can ask them about their perspective on just anything that's going on. You can just share your opinion with them and ask them what they think about that. So what that does is, because you have shared your opinion already, they may also want to share their opinion, and then that is where the conversation comes, because they already know your opinion, so they may have something to counter your opinion or to add to your opinion. And what happens is that either you find that you agree on one thing which you can talk about, or you disagree on something which you would also talk about. So this is usually a very good conversation opener, because to make the person comfortable, you can share your opinion first before you ask them about their opinion, especially if it's a very controversial subject. But if you think it's a very controversial subject that the other party would be hesitant, then you do not want to make them uncomfortable, so you do not ask them that. But just use simple subjects that anyone can have, and that you can just really kick off a conversation where you can share your own opinion about the subject and ask them what they think about that, and they're very likely to respond, and then you can kickstart a conversation from that angle and take it from there. Another thing is that people like to be kind, and I know not everyone is kind, but like a lot of people love to be kind. They like to help other people. So one other very good conversation opener is to ask someone a favor. You can ask them to tell you the time. Because they want to help, they would communicate with you. You can also ask them, like, where did they get something? Say, where did they get a dress? Which designer designed their dress? And then about the fabric of their dress. Just anything, like, really about, you can just ask them a favor, ask them like directions, just ask them something that you know that they have the answer to, and they're likely to want to help you, and that in itself breaks the ice. Sometimes when you break the ice, then the conversation will flow from there. You can also assess their body language as to whether or not they want someone to approach them and speak to them. And I believe that if you were looking for conversation openness, by this time you would have known that at least the person is willing to talk to you, but you just want to weigh in. So in that case, you can ask them for a favor, and it doesn't have to be like, give me money or anything of that sort. It's just something as simple like just asking them for information, something that would just help you start a conversation and take it from there. You can just ask anything, maybe about the weather or just something like that. Like I said earlier, I said you can ask them a question, but here it's like asking them for something, some kind of information, like what's the time, something that would make them want to engage with you more. When you compliment them and you ask them, then they are likely to want to help you. So the last point is to use nostalgia. People are always ready to talk about their past. It brings back this nostalgic feeling, and they can go on and on and on and on and on. So I can ask them about their past, their previous school, about their hometown, about their country, about their culture, about their family, about their friends, and then they will go on and on and on. So this is something you can use to your advantage. So just ask them and listen attentively, listen very curiously, listen like you're very interested. That would help kickstart a conversation. So nostalgia is a very good tool, so especially for people that would have missed something, even if it's the weather in their hometown or just something in the past that they would like to recall. People just want to talk about things that they have missed, and you can use that to your advantage, and you can use that to start a conversation. But it's important that when you ask people stuff about their past, you need to be prepared to listen, because listening in itself is a part of good communication. So you don't want to ask them a question and then you are just like, you're looking very uninterested. No, you don't want that. You want to listen to them and what they have to say. Now that you know these amazing conversation starters, which of these have you used in the past and how did they work for you? Let me know in the comment section below. I have prepared a 2-page guide to help you communicate confidently. This will move you from looking timid, awkward, and by yourself to being expressive and conversational. Do check the description box below to download the guide. Also, if you want to join an amazing community of people where I share exceptional communication and personal development tips, make sure that you join the exclusive group. The link is also in the description box below. Check out these videos on how to improve your communication skills. Please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.